Hello and welcome to an Astro Harry challenge video. What's the challenge tonight? Well, what I'm going to try and do is to image all four of the gas giants in our solar system. So that is Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. So why tonight? Well, it's because they're all relatively in the same space in the sky. It's also a new moon, so I'm getting interference with the moon. And the weather forecast is okay. On the downside, the weather forecast could change. You know, we live in England. Anything could happen. Also, I need to reset up my entire rig because I took it all apart to go camping last week. So I need to sort of set all that up as well. So that's negative. I can already see Jupiter just appearing over the horizon. So I know we're in with a chance. So let's see how it goes. So what are we using to image with today? Well, I've got my trusty Celestron 130 Astro Phi. I've got a little mini PC that runs all my gear. I've got the hand controller. I will have a guide scope working once I get everything set up. A little monitor to run everything, and I've got my power bank and various accessories as I move the light. So yes, so we're all good to go. So let's see what happens. I spy with my little eye, still zooming in with J just below the plane. Let's zoom in. Woohoo! So there's target number one. Bingo. So we're going to start off with the first planet, which is the biggest and brightest of the lot, which is Jupiter. As you can see, it's massively overexposed, but also we've got two moons there and we've got another moon there, so we're in for a little bit of a treat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the exposure length in SharpCap to about 1 in 60 seconds, and that's still overexposed, so I'm going to change that to 125. No. And I'm going to then reduce the gain down to something a little bit more normal. We'll just bring that back in, and as you can see straight away all that sort of overexposure has gone. So I'm going to zoom this to 100%, and so you can start to see an image of Jupiter. And this is the trick with doing bright objects like Jupiter and the moon and things like that. It's just playing around with the settings until you can get an image that looks pretty okay, and that's not bad actually. I'm quite impressed with that. I'm going to zoom it to 200% so you guys can see what I'm seeing. I might knock it down even a little bit more when it comes to the gain, so you can definitely see some lines on there. Move it into the middle. Yeah, I'm actually really happy with that. So yes, so that's Jupiter, the big monster. As you can see, it's not a circle, it's like a spheroid, like an egg shape, because it spins that fast that you get the top and the bottoms being elongated. So that is Jupiter. Very happy with that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to whack the gain up so that we can see if we can see some moons. Oh, and there they are. Wow, that was really good. That I really enjoyed that. So there's two of the moons there, just bombing away. Wonder what they're going to be doing. Yes, and if I zoom it out, we can then hopefully see a third moon, which we can right in the top corner. I'm just going to increase the gain just a little bit more, and then you can see. So if I stand back a little bit, yeah, so there's the Jovian system. So there we've got Jupiter, two moons and a moon there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple of stills of the system as it is, and then I'm going to take a short video which I can stack later. Bye for now. Have a look who's joined us for this gas planet challenge. It's Astro Mario. So here we are with the second biggest object, which is Saturn. Now unfortunately there's an absolutely massive bank of cloud that's just come in, so this may be a relatively short video, so you can't see the rings there. But if I knock the exposures and the gains down, let's get this to a nice level. It's a bit overexposed, zoom to 100%. Let's have a quick look. No, I don't want the smart brain. No, SharpCap, be gone with your brain. There we go, 200%. So there we're starting to see some of the rings. I'll just knock it down. Shorter exposure still, so let's see what we're at. 1/8, 1/15. So there you go, the most beautiful objects in the night sky. I think, there'll be people out there who disagree. Certainly that you can see through a telescope, or without having to stack for 3 hours with funky filters. So that is that's Saturn, and that's absolutely gorgeous. So I will take a little short exposure of that and take a video, and so I can do some stacking. The other thing I really love about the Saturnian system is the moons. The moons are absolutely crackers. I'm just going to increase the exposures just so I can see if I can get some for you. The moons are just crazy. They because Saturn's tilted towards us. You get. I'm just going to bring that up a little bit. Because the moon is tilted towards, because Saturn's tilted towards us, the moons are more haphazard than you get in the Jovian system. So as you can see, I mean, not every one of those dots on the screen is a moon, but chances are quite a few of them are, and it's just absolutely crackers. So if I go into the live stacking mode, I can just get rid of that. I was playing around with Andromeda. I was trying to get I was doing some experiments. I was trying to get my alignment working, but I was playing around with Andromeda. So yeah, I'm just going to quickly check that, and then so as I do a few stacks, you can see that there's all sorts of things going on there. So I've done 8, so I'll just 8, 9. So yes, you got Saturn, and then you got all these dots. And what I'll do is I'll put it through some software, and we'll see what of that is moon and what of that is stars. And then just before the cloud comes in, I'm going to do a quick video so I can do some end results. Thank you. So it's gone a little bit hazy again, but I've managed to get Neptune, which is my 3rd target of the night. So Neptune is up here. So I've done all my plate solving and everything like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do some live stacking. So it's a completely different method to what you would use for example, with the planets, where you take a video as many frames as possible because the big planets are very bright, whereas Neptune is between magnitude 7 and magnitude 8, which is quite faint. So I'm using the live stacking method that is in SharpCap. So I'm just going to adjust the histogram ever so slightly so I can get rid of that purpley tinge. Just 1 second. I do like a bit of live stacking with SharpCap. So there we go. So Neptune is the object at the top, the one that I'm just zooming into now. And as you can see, there's a little mark next to Neptune, and that is Triton. That is the moon Triton. And I've plate solved this. I've double checked it with everything. So there we have Neptune and the moon Triton. Triton is a fascinating world worthy of its own video. So that is target number 3 out of 4. I'm worried that I'm going to be running out of dark sky because it's gone a little bit cloudy again, but fingers crossed that we can do the 4th and final one, which is Uranus. But yes, there's Neptune. Thank you. So between hedgehogs and clouds and all sorts of things, I've finally managed to get the 4th of our planets, which is Uranus, and it is the object that is there. As you can see, even on this 4-second exposure, you can see it's got a little bit of a greeny tinge to it. So I've double checked this with the star charts. This is definitely our friend. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do some live stacking. So I've got it on here. So I'm going to start this going. And then what I hope we can see is some moons. So while that is stacking, I'll get up our friend Stellarium. And see what happens here. So I've got Stellarium open here, and Stellarium is really useful because it lets you know the positions of the moons with the planets. So I always think it's really cool to look for the moon. So we found Triton with Neptune, so let's see what we can do with Uranus. So here's Uranus on Stellarium, brilliant. And then here's our Uranus image. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to zoom in slightly. So I'm going to zoom this to 100%. Scroll across. There we go. There is our planet Uranus. Brilliant. And then I'm going to bring up Stellarium. Okay, so let's have a look. So we've got these 2 stars here. which I'm going to use as alignment for those 2 stars there. There's those 4 stars there, those 4 stars there, so we know we're in the right ballpark. And I'm going to zoom in slightly, so we've got the different moons there. So if you can see on my version, we've got 1, 2, and there's 2 dots there. I'm sure if you can see it on the video, so we've definitely got at least 4 of these. So that's Oberon, Titania, and then I'm sure one is Ariel, and I would imagine the other one is Umbriel, because Miranda is tiny. So I'm very doubtful that we would get that. So I'm just going to scroll that back down and yeah, bring that forward here. So it's amazing really that we can spot these. They're tiny, these things. These worlds are absolutely minute, and it's amazing that we can spot these with an amateur telescope. Look, I mean, it says there magnitude 14. You know, these are really faint objects, and the fact that we can spot this from a back garden in Northumberland always amazes me. So when you go out looking for the planets, it's not just about the planets themselves. The moons are just as fascinating, and you've got, the 4 centuries of Jupiter. You've got the craziness of the Saturnian system, and then you've got these icy moons of Neptune and also of Uranus. So they're well worth capturing. Anyway, what I'll do after this video is I'll post a gallery of the images. I'll clean them up a bit. Not too much, but just so that they're presentable, and then it shows you what you can do in an observing session. So I hope you have fun, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much.